Hi guys, hello, hi everyone. Hello Waka Waka Doctor, thank you for joining. Hi Kemso, thank you for joining. Hello Alex, thank you so much for joining. How are you guys doing? Welcome to our live today. So we all know that I always host Brazilian journey with several guests that has been to Brazil and to tell us about their experiences, their whatever it is that they encountered as they came to Brazil as an English speaker. So today we have a guest, and in like 5-6 minutes we'll be bringing her up so that she can tell us about our Brazilian journey. So let me give you a brief introduction about her before she joins. She's Nigerian and American, and then she has been to like 70 plus countries, which includes Brazil. So she was recently in Brazil like a week or 2 weeks ago, and then she'll be sharing with us exactly what she thinks about Brazil, her experiences, the journey, stereotypes, everything without any censor. So you guys, thank you guys for joining. Mr. Wambuze, thank you for joining. Josie 182, thank you so much for joining. We're just going to give her time to join the live. So let me see. Just a few minutes for her to join. I'm having a hard time trying to okay. She has sent me a message here, so let me see. Oh, it's excuse me, I'm trying to chat her up here. It started already. So I hope she joins very soon. Hi guys, how am I doing? Alex, I'm doing very fine. Thank you so much for asking. Hello Ma, as a guy, which skill do you feel will be easy to get a job in Brazil? Well, all skills are easy to get a job in Brazil. You could learn any skill at all. There's no limitation. All you need to do is learn the language and you will do fine in Brazil. There's no limitation, as I always say. Our guest for today is she said she can't see anything. How come? Oh my god. Oh. Is this my page? This is my page. Guys, please give me 1 minute. Add or send. Send. Okay, so I've sent her something. Good evening, family. Good evening. Thank you for joining, Mr. Bonzi. Thank you for joining, Buddy. And thank you for joining. Hi, Aniva. Thank you for joining. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Aniva. Yeah, I'm going to bring you up in the live today. All right, no problem. We're having a difficult time to my guest is having a difficult time to join. She's not seeing the live. So I don't know. She's having a difficult time joining. Hi guys, welcome. Let's give our guest some time to join. She's the one I'm trying to call so that she can join the live. Or do I have any technique? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, please drop an emoji so that I can be sure that it's not from my end. If you can hear me, please drop an emoji so that I can be sure that it's not from my end, please. Okay, so she's not picking, but we're going to give her time to join. In the meantime, you guys know that our regular life is always to bring people to, speak about their experiences, about their journey, about how they've been able to survive Brazil with the stereotype and the entire buggery and the crime rates and all the old things that people have heard about Brazil that has been going on. That's what we always try to speak about in our lives generally. So I have invited a Nigerian American that has been to Brazil. As I've said earlier, she was in Brazil like last week or so, few days ago, and then she was speaking to us about how she juggled Brazil, how she was able to visit places, and probably there's a stereotype or not, she's going to tell us today. Probably she was robbed. I don't know. We're going to hear about that today. Probably Brazil is the worst country in the entire continent. We're going to hear about that today. So she's running late. I know. I am very sorry about that. But if you give us like 5 more minutes, she will join the live. I think she's not in a convenient place right now to join, but she's here with me on Instagram DM, pleading with you guys to please have some time, spare her some time to join. So please, in the meantime, we can talk about everything, anything, but we're having a guest and we have to wait for her. But in the meantime, let's talk, let's gist. Hello, our Brazilian life. Thank you for joining. Taste of Saint Catherine. Thank you for joining. Daddy Olive. Thank you. Anu Ayodele. That's my sister. Thank you for joining. Becky Closet. Thank you so much for joining. Aniva. Thank you too. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Good
Good evening.
afternoon.
Or good
Good
afternoon.
evening. Thank you for joining our live today.
Thank you for accepting my message.
Okay. Okay. So,
Okay, I want to talk about to me, I'm still in Brazil, and
all
Brazil is a
right.
very nice country to go to. The food, the atmosphere, the people in Brazil, they're very nice. They're ready to help. Then if you don't have skills, there's no point coming to Brazil, because if you have skill, you'll be able to do a lot of things in Brazil. My own opinion. Then there are a lot of things in Brazil. There are a lot of things in Brazil. You can make money in Brazil. You can make money in Brazil. To me,
That's interesting. Thank you so much. We couldn't see your face. Let's see your face. And you didn't tell us your name. What's your name?
my name is Sharon.
All right. Thank you, Sharon. It was nice to meet you. I hope you guys have been able to hear from Sharon. She's saying that Brazil is very good to relocate to. You need a skill and you need to work hard for you to make enough money and to put Brazil in your bucket list generally. So our guest is here. Sharon, thank you for joining. We're going to put our guest live now. Um, okay, thank you, Sharon, for joining. Thank you so much for that short introduction. So our guest is here. She's Pelumi. I'm going to reintroduce her again. She's Nigerian American, and she has been to 70 plus countries. And she was speaking to us about Brazil, her experiences, what she went through, the food, the culture, everything about Brazil. If you come here, if it's good or not, advices if she should come or not, if you guys should come or not, and everything in general about Brazil. So now we're going to be bringing her up so that she can speak to us.
Hello. I am so sorry
Hi.
for the glitches.
Okay. It's okay. Good
Good
afternoon.
evening from London, actually. So, Nigerian, British, not American. But yeah, I want to own American as well. Why not? We'll take everything.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, no worries, no worries, no worries.
It's
Thank you
nice
so
to
so
have you
much for
here.
having me. I'm so grateful, and everyone that is online, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your time here. I'm always saying
Thank
one of the things you can give someone is your time. You know, time is so precious. So for spending this afternoon, evening, morning, wherever in the world you are, thank you for joining this conversation, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Thank you so much, Pelumi. So we're going to be talking about Brazil today, yes,
Mm-hmm.
because many people do not like to come to Brazil. I'm sure you're Nigerian, and now our people do not even like to cross Brazil at all. It's usually UK, US, Australia, and the rest. So today, I'm glad that you're coming here to speak about Brazil to us and then educate us generally about your experiences in Brazil. Can you hear me, please? Hello? Your network is bad. Accept.
Keeps kicking me out, but we're gonna make this work. So sorry, I got disconnected, but I heard
I'm
everything you said.
sorry.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking all thing Brazil. You're totally
All
right. Like
right.
even the person she created the list, which a lot of people are doing now. It's like a trend. You know, countries I would not visit, countries I felt uncomfortable with as a black woman, as a black female. So that's one thing she created. You know, and Brazil was there somewhere she would not go solo because of all the misconception, all the stories she's heard, being African American. And she got there and she was like, Pelumi, this is crazy. Like this is not what I heard. This is not what it's like. So yeah, it's totally, there's so many misconceptions, and that's why I always tell people, don't just rely on the media. Go to these places by yourself and make your own judgment about the place rather than what you've just heard. So yeah, I'm more to share my experiences and dive right into it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So can you briefly help us,
I thought you
the audience to
had an
introduce
amazing
yourself?
introduction, girl. Okay,
Just briefly.
so a little bit a little bit about name. My name is Oluwa Pelumi. Born and bred in Lagos, Nigeria. And I moved to the UK when I was about 10 years old. And then I've been there. So I went through high school, college, and the rest. Uni in uni. I've always in the UK. I've always enjoyed travel. I feel that is one of the biggest and the best gifts you can give to yourself. Having new culture, immersive experiences, trying new things, it just really broadens your mind about what is possible. Honestly, it's a snowball event. I never was determined to be like going to every country or something. I just kind of started, especially being so blessed to have like a British citizen as well as Nigerian. It really opens the door for you. Exactly, like I definitely realized I have passport privilege and taking advantage of that privilege, because some people do have the privilege and don't even use it. So taking advantage of that, being based in Europe, just really opens the border. Exactly. So I really was doing a lot of like, when I was back in uni, doing a lot of weekend trips and exploring and things like that. And I always tell people, like, traveling doesn't mean you have to go to the other side of the world. Like, try your local neighborhood, try your city, try, just here and there, and that will build up your confidence. So honestly, I call it a snowball event. I started 1, 2, 3, before you know, 10, 20, 50. So it really just, it really snowballed. And now I do it kind of full time. So I'm on the road most of the time, exploring, telling my story, writing about it. I have 2 different companies, Comfy Trav, which, um, about the mental, because I realized people disqualify themselves from traveling. Like you were saying, when I talk about my travel, like, oh, I can never do that. I'm like, why can you never do that? Like, how can you just disqualify? You haven't even tried. You already said I can't. Like, so Comfy Travel is like an affirmation deck that kind of affirms your travel, your mindset, because I feel like everything starts with the mind. When you can overcome that belief system, and you can really affirm yourself, that's where opportunities start happening. So I started that, and very recently I started Remy Travels, which is a group travel, and it's all about traveling with your friends, friendship group, tailored made. Letting you go out there to explore. If you're scared to go by yourself, this is a group of people that love to travel, and then you can join them. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. That's kind of a little brief, teeny bitty bit about me. I'm the baby of the house. I have 2 other brothers. And yeah, I love traveling, and I always tell people, just do it, just like Nike.
Wow, you have a very great
Oh,
portfolio. I
darling, you're
wish to
doing
be like you
amazing.
in the
Stop it.
nearest future. So I'm going to skip to number 2,
No, I
which
don't
is
live in
do you
Brazil. I would
currently
love
live in
to live in
Brazil? I do
Brazil.
not do.
It
You
felt like
okay?
home. That's kind of how I experienced it out, especially Salvador. It's I was walking down the street, and I was eating moi moi and akara and speaking Yoruba, and I was like, I might as well just be in Nigeria, literally. Like, the people speak the language, they're super friendly. It felt like home. That's literally the best check. And you have the beach there, you have perfect weather. Obviously there's, being conscious like any other place in the world, but especially if you're going as a solo person, it's good to go with a friend just for the company and stuff. But it's somewhere I'll go solo. Just felt like I was walking down the street of any other place, but even more familiar, because these people are speaking my native language, and I'm learning about things I didn't even know about. Like, I hear about Shango and the gods, and I was like, hey, and I say I'm a Nigerian babe, I don't know these things. So yeah, the learning part is massive, and it's definitely I think that's one thing I found quite unique. When I travel to places, I'm trying to learn about the place and the history and culture. When it came to Brazil, I was learning about my own culture. It was just so mind opening, and
Culture.
Slavery really kind of changed our mindset. Like the things that were our thing, how it was taken away from us, and made into something barbaric and evil, and mind opening. I learned so much. Like, it was like a learning experience as well. But yeah, absolutely. I will come in a heartbeat. When you're ready, please invite me. I want to come back.
No problem. Definitely. So I would like to know what
So we
states you
crossed over. So
visited
we're
when you
doing a
came to
whole
Brazil.
South American tour. So I started from Chile, then went to Bolivia, then Argentina, then Uruguay, Paraguay, then into Brazil. And straight away I knew I had to go to Salvador. I was like, there's no way. Me and my friend that we travel Chelsea, we're like, there's no way we can go to Brazil and not go to Salvador. Like, yes, we want to see Rio, we want to see wonders of the world, and all of that. But Salvador, we must make it. So we bought extra plane tickets, and it was worth it. It was the best. A bit biased because one thing I had was a local guide. His name is Dami, amazing guy. You might know him. But yeah, Nigeria met on
Wow,
is like pure
Nigerian.
coincidence, luck, whatever you believe in. I don't believe it. I think everything is meant to happen. We were leading the tour. I know that we did the slave trade tour, which is another thing I recommend doing. Very knowledgeable guy that did. If anyone wants contact, let me know. But we also have you that has all the contacts too as well. If I knew that you were there, I would have definitely reached out. But definitely we were going to buy Akara. What do you know in Brazil? Because I call it akara because that's how I know it. Akaraje. So we went to buy the Akaraje.
Akaraje.
Amazing lady. I've forgotten her name,
Akaraje.
and she has an
Yes.
Instagram page, but really lovely lady. So we're eating the Akaraje. The guy was Yoruba to us. Next in Dami and his friends were like, wait, you're Nigerian, and the whole ground scattered. So that's how we met each other. But yeah, so it was definitely so that's the three places
Wow.
we went to. We went to Salvador, Rio, and Sao Paulo. That's because it was one of the cheapest places to fly from. We didn't really explore that. It was just a one night stop off. But yeah, we did explore Salvador and Rio. Those were the two places. Yeah.
Real. Wow. 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 So would you be visiting these
Oh,
places
I
again,
would
or
love to
you'd
go
like
back
to
to
visit other
Salvador.
places
Rio, I feel I would love to go
in
back
Brazil
with
again?
a local. There's something, and I think that's why people should definitely utilize your service. There's something unique about going somewhere with a local. And I think that's why Salvador was so high. Like it was such, we went to the street parties. Like who know the street parties happening? We didn't know like a local, like what else we go out? Like I remember being told like, it'd be great to go out, it'd be great to go out. So when we went to Dami, we're like, wait, guy, what's happening? It's like, there's this party tonight. We're like, that's it, we are coming. Link us, link us. So there's a joy about knowing local people. And I always tell people that's one of the biggest gifts to yourself. Making international friendship and you know, social media, Instagram has allowed for that opportunity. Like be mindful, like really genuinely, hi. Say, let's put in the comment. Whenever I them to speak, please, if you have any question, I'm losing my voice because I'm shouting. I don't know why I shout. I need to stop this. But please, if you have any questions, please let us know as well. If you want to know anything about Brazil or my trip, anything, please drop in the comment section. So yeah, that's kind of how it was in terms of. So if I want to go back to Rio, I want to go with someone local that just because we saw like the Rio Christ the Redeemer, and the weather was that great as well. It was raining quite a lot.
Right.
In exactly. So
It was cold.
love to check out new places too as well. Like why not? There's I always say when you visit a country once, you can never say I can't go back again. I'm a repeat offender. I'll go over and over and over.
No.
As long as you know there's something to see and do, why not?
Wow. Thank you very much. So what stereotypes do you think that we're like untrue when you can what misconceptions like people always throwing around Brazil that you came and you found out that oh no, this has to stop. Which of them did you witness
The
or
whole
experience?
talk I heard about the Rio, like if you're in the beach, someone will just come and people just start running and you have to run because they'll just I was like, what? You know, like just like the police people are corrupt as well. Like everyone go to the police for help. Like it's you and your life. And I get it. Like any other, you know, country, any other place. Yes, there's some criminality in higher and other places and not that. And it's very naive to be saying don't be mindful of your surrounding. Please, that's not what I'm saying. Definitely, especially if you're traveling as a woman and all of that, you definitely want to have that precautions, but don't let the fear. I swear, like I was, at one point, I was like, shit, I will go out like this. They will not just sit in our house. This one that I say, you just be on the beach and 10 men will just come with gun and just start pursuing you. So none of that happened. At least it might be true in some sense. It may have happened to some people, but none of that happened while I was there. So I was really glad. Nothing happened. We didn't lose anything. There was no pickpocketing. It felt pretty safe, which was the most important concern. That we heard a lot. Literally, you're going to a dog hood. There are some like you know, but that wasn't the case for us.
Oh, I'm so happy and my joy knows no bounds. Because I've had so many stereotypes from my previous lives where people will just join and tell me, oh, don't come to Brazil, stop telling people to come to Brazil. They kill people on the street daily, every hour, and then the drug lords, they kidnap people, they kidnap children. And I'm like, this
There's
same
another
Brazil,
I think there's
or
another
there's
one that I
another
don't
one.
know about.
So I'm always very
honestly like the beach one, even me, I was like, like we don't be live, we don't be hearing as a particular terminology, and I bet it might happen, you know, but it's not like it's just the same way. Like I'm saying, you can get people, you can get kidnapped, you can get things can happen to you in the, and it's hard. I was talking about this with a friend. I was like, there are
Yeah.
some places that, especially within the African continent, she's like, oh, don't go there. And this places have not had any, they've not been any tourist what's the word? English is hard. They've not had any kind of attack or something like that. It's not happened.
Adventure.
And in the
Okay,
UK, for
okay, okay,
example,
okay.
we've had that in recent year. The US has had that in use, but you don't hear anyone say don't go to the UK. And these things have happened, like terrorists. They've come and attacked us. So it's like, say safe, except when God puts you. Just pray to Baba God, like, let you have your back.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, that's what I feel.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Pelumi. I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything
Please,
for Pelumi in the comment section.
if you have any questions,
Everyone has just been joining.
anything, what it's like to be. But honestly, so what's your story? Did you go there to study? I want to hear, because that's one trend I saw, being out there, lots of young Nigerians coming out there for schools and stuff. So is that the path you took as well? Okay.
No, 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 no. No, my daddy is from here. So literally we are also, there's a thing in Brazil where if one parent is from here and then when the children are not in the country, you are not in Brazil, maybe you are from Brazil, but your children are in Nigeria. If you can bring them into Brazil before they are 24 years old, they would be able to
Okay.
extend your citizenship or your
I
permanent
see.
residency to the children. So yeah, that was how it went with him.
So were you
So
born in
my
Brazil
parents'
then?
family, everybody lives in Brazil. So I just joined
Okay,
them.
your parents,
No, 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 I wasn't.
they were to bring you
But
in
I
before you turn. Makes sense. Okay, that's another route. See, there's so many routes. There's so many routes. I know people that have
so
been there
many,
for a long
so many.
time, and
There's
they got their
childbirth.
permanent resident from that school. But I think the cost of living is very low. That's another thing that
Yes.
enticed me. Like the cost, especially if you're earning in pounds or
Very,
dollars, like
very.
you're working in a national company. I'm like, when I did the maths, I was like, it makes sense. So like the cost and your quality life in Brazil is with the increase of, I was speaking to like locals, fuel price has gone up and rent based in Brazil, you can really live very low at very low. Right. So that's something people can look into as well. If you're thinking of relocating to Brazil, do it. You enjoy life. Good food. Their food is seasoned for sugar. Everything. And it's so like it's put Gary in everything. I'm like, I'm or something. Right? And I think one thing won't be like, I can't remember the name people food, but now it's like you can even get the beans in like a pot with the meat and everything. Feijoada. I love it.
Feijoada.
I enjoy. I was sucking that because it falls off the bone. Feijoada. 100. If you're going there, but eat it. But there were so many other foods. Like the only thing I felt it was just missing the swallow. It's like now, where's the pando? But it was a great time. I really enjoyed my stay. But yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much.
They're being shy. They're not
I don't
asking
know if
any
anyone
question.
has
Please
any
ask
questions to
questions.
ask you.
That's the biggest thing as well. When you ask, there's no stupid question. When you ask question, you get to know more. Like I'm always asking questions. If I don't know anything, I'm like, please, sis, how did you go here and here and there? But yeah. So how do people connect with you? I think that's kind of one way to probably round it off. How do people connect? To your tours. Let's hear about them tours, please. Generally. So what tours do you offer?
So I I offer everything. Anywhere you want to go in Brazil, I can take you there on a very, very affordable budget. Because you'll be paying me in your money from the country you're coming from in dollars. So it's very affordable and very, very promising and professional. They can reach me through my Instagram. My handle is on my bio. They can also reach me through the contact information on my page too, through my email or my phone
Where
number.
are you based right now?
So that's it.
You're in Rio. Man, I
I'm in
really should
Rio.
have said
I just got back from
Where's
Rio.
okay?
Yes,
Next
guy.
time, no wala.
Okay. No wala.
All
No
right.
wala. Thank you. I also offer services of picking my guests from the airport, or booking ticket for them, or booking hotel reservations for them to
We learned the
anything they
hard
need to do
way.
in
So this
Brazil.
is why it's good to have
Language
someone
barrier,
professional.
I'm
So
breaking
we
it.
got to Rio the night of what's that concert? The Rio, is it Carnival?
The carnival.
Rio there's a word for it.
Rio
Something,
Carnival.
something. Anyway, we just like, wait, why is Rio so expensive? Like, guys, please, when you see when you see that inside tip, when you see destinations, all of a sudden there's a hike in price. Do some research, do some Googling. So we got there and we realized it was so everything was. We go to this hotel that we were to stay for the night. I've never been catfish in my life. I've never been catfish like that hotel. We got there and we're like even the blankets, I couldn't use it to cover my body. I was like, dog cannot sleep in this place. And we were paying almost $300 a night. Like, it was the only thing available. What? It was the only, I didn't book it. I have to put that disclaimer out there. I did not book it. But and it was just ridiculous for that particular Sunday night. We got there, but that was because the concert was happening. Some research and see if there are concerts going on, because it tends to high price, because most of these hotels, as you know, is by demand. So if they know there's an increase in demand, or they know that it's lacking, they increase the price to make a profit. So we literally we cannot sleep. We call Booking. It was by thank God for Booking.com. Yeah. We call Booking.com. We're like, please, this is not. It's not. We're not happy. We cannot stay here. But let's a whole lot of drama, because it's good to have multiple places to book. But if we had your service and stuff, we're sure that we would have been able to sort this out. So please, if you're visiting Brazil, Rio is great. Even though when we go to Christ Museum, it was so crowded. It doesn't matter if you go. To get married under Christ the Redeemer, there's actually like a church. So someone was getting married there. So fun fact. I'm trying to think of every other thing, every other mistake I make, so you don't make it. But it was great. It was really great. It was great to take the cable car up to the what's the mountain? Meatloaf, meat beef, meat something. The mountain by the cable. Kubanka. Yeah, Meatloaf Mountain. Yeah.
Meatloaf.
Sugarloaf.
No, Sugarloaf.
I said meatloaf. Please ignore that. Crap. I was like, you know, believe he's hungry. Sugarloaf, definitely. But yeah, it was a great time. Great time. Enjoy the beach, have fun, and don't let people fear. I always tell people, when you feel fear, always ask yourself, is this my fear, or is this fear that someone else has given to me? And most time we realize that it's actually fear given to us. And all you can just say is, oh yeah, I'll take your fear back. I don't need it. I don't want it. And live life, because life is short. I think that's something 2020 taught us, like the gift of traveling, for us to be able to do this again after what we've been through. It's like people have amnesia. They can't remember that at one point we couldn't even go anywhere. So please take advantage of the opportunity to travel. Please.
Exactly.
Like, when the opportunity, because you just never. It's been great talking to you. Thank you again, everyone, for hanging out.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pelumi, for joining.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you soon physically.
Take care of yourself. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. That was such an amazing life. I'm sure you guys had fun because I did. Pelumi is such a good vibe. Hold on. I think I still have some time here. That was such a good live. I'm sure if you watched it from the beginning, you would have seen how Pelumi was able to gist with us and tell us I couldn't even say much because she has just helped me, settle everything, even the questions I need to ask. She has answered everything for me and made everything so easy. Thank you so much, Pelumi. We appreciate you so much for coming to the live. People that are still here, thank you. Then we can start our own private life. I wanted to continue from yesterday's live where I was speaking to let me see. She was here now. She asked for the live. Aniva. I don't know if you're still here. I don't know what's wrong with my. We might have to start another one. Okay, bye guys. I'm going to start another one again, so please join. So this one can be for only Pelumi, and people that need to listen to it can listen to it correctly. Oh, but we have a request already. Oh, let me just accept. Aniva, are you here? Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. And you just give me a minute, sorry, to like.
All right.
I'm here. I'm
All
just
right.
um.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Sorry. Like my lighting is really bad, so I'm trying to switch on
It's
my
okay.
ring light,
No problem.
and it's taking time.
Hello, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. And you? Can you see
I'm
me properly?
fine.
Oh,
I can see you.
can
You
you hear
look
me?
so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So yesterday we wanted to hold a live with you, but I think Instagram has the time limit for the live thing, so everything just cut off, and then I was too tired to continue. I just needed to rest my brain.
Yeah, I
So
can understand.
today, yeah, I'm sorry. Today, welcome. We wanted to speak about the I think you wanted to ask some question, right?
You actually like I don't have any specific question because I think as we talked like yesterday, right? Like I said, there's nothing really urgent. I think like my urgent thing was like the whole learning the language.
Okay.
Yeah, learning the language before you actually enter like a course. So yeah, that was like one of my biggest things. But I feel like if people watch your YouTube channel, like you have pretty much answered most questions, unless like it's a specific situation to them. But yeah, you pretty much answered like most questions. I think like any conversation that like I'd want to have is just like understanding like maybe life over there. One thing I think one topic that I found interesting yesterday, I can't remember his name, but he basically came on live yesterday and he had moved to Brazil and he did the Celebras course and talking about like living like further away from Sao Paulo and Rio.
Real.
And then what else like did I think about? Okay, yeah, obviously like these are topics you always talk about, like the whole racism, um, what's it called? This people like people being robbed, things like that, which also happens over where I'm from, like where I stayed. So yeah, yeah.
Do you want to talk to us about your experiences in Spain? I was
Please,
chatting with you yesterday and it was terrible.
yeah.
Would you like to share?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Yes, I definitely would because
You're
like
welcome.
I think one of the things, obviously, like I think everyone wants to leave. Everyone wants to do Japa. I'm not Nigerian, but
It sounds funny.
yes. Oops, my friends
Let me
like
tell you. Let me tell you what it is. It's called Jackpa.
Japa. Yes, everyone wants to Japa. Sorry, my light died. Let me see if I can Can you okay? You can't see me as well because my my
Oh,
ring
it
light
turned
died.
off.
Yeah, it just died. I'm not sure if I can, what's it called this? Okay, let me just go.
You
Sorry,
can
just
touch it. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So basically, um, I came to Spain like when I was 18, which is 18, 19,
Oh,
which is like still, yeah, still pretty young. I've lived here for 2 or 3 years, basically. Um, what else? So basically, when it came to like the whole racism thing, right? Me coming from where I come from, like before I lived in Spain, I lived in Malawi, where I'm from, and Kenya. I went to school in Kenya, and I already had friends in Spain. Basically, I already had friends already in school in Spain, and so like coming there, it's amazing. Like honestly, like the structure, like the way things are run in Spain, specifically Barcelona, is really nice. It's amazing. The weather the weather is like the best in Europe because it's not too cold and like there's pretty much sun even when it's cold. So now when it comes to racism, like I was just very like dumbfounded and confused, about people being racist. And I think like my first experience of like racism was like one time like we were leaving the club and then now all of us are going our different ways because some people want to take the public transport, which is the bus, or need to take the train, while other people just want to get home and they're going to use taxis. And I was one of the people that wanted to use a taxi. So I'm walking, leaving the club, right? This is 5 a.m. Everyone is rushing for taxi. And like there are taxi drivers that were just standing by the side and they were like, oh, 300 euros, 200 euros, 100 euros. And I'm like, 100 euros to drop me home? Like, I don't live that far. And I was so confused as to why they were shouting numbers at me. But then later on, I realized, oh, they thought like I was a prostitute. So they were like, oh, 300 euros to take you. Exactly. 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 That was one of my first experiences of racism. One time I was walking from school and like a man, like a white Spanish man, was just like puta. Puta basically means like whore or bitch, basically. Out of
oh
nowhere, I'm
God.
called exactly. Yeah, and like I have so many other stories. And I feel like at first it was very depressing. Obviously at that age where like I think identity is like a very big thing. Yeah, it was very depressing. But like now I'm just very much used to it, type of thing. It's still a bit irritating that they still see black women, specifically black African women, as sexual objects or sexual people to be used. And also like something else you talked about is like how Brazilians are like really friendly and Spanish people are not friendly at all. Like I think yesterday you're talking about how you went to an office and they helped you and like they thought you didn't speak Portuguese.
Totally.
Exactly, and they actually helped you. Here it's like opposite. Once you don't speak Spanish, right? Like if you don't speak Spanish fluently, they just get very frustrated with you, and they're just like, okay, you can just wait, right? Or like they'll just be like, oh, we don't understand, we don't understand. Like just move, right? So they're not as helpful. Yeah, they're not as helpful. And now with like when it comes to, I think they're also like over there, right? Everywhere in the world, obviously, they like Africans that went to Europe or Africans that went to other parts of the world, whether it's America, Canada, anywhere in Europe, and they ended up growing up there. Like they went when they were 14. Okay, well, they went when they were 14. Like they went when they're 14, they're 15, 16. They've been there for a while. Um,
Thank you. Sorry.
Very young. They went there for a while. Like they were there. They've been there. They speak Spanish. They grew up in the Spanish culture, right? And like you think, like my fellow Black person, my fellow African would want to help me, or would be like very accommodating to like me and want to like I don't know, just support you in the new environment. They're not as friendly. Like they're actually not as friendly, to be honest. And then also like the Spanish people, it's hard to be friends with them if you don't speak Spanish. And even if you do speak Spanish, they have
Wow.
grown up so like they're already used to each other. They're
Into
already like
themselves.
exactly. So to be able to penetrate like into those friendships or have close friendships with them is yeah, it's a bit hard. So I
Oh,
think yeah, those are like big differences I noticed that you were talking about, like in Brazil, how the people are so friendly, so welcoming. They'll welcome you to their homes, they want to eat with you, and like actually are interested in where you come from and things like that. Yeah, in Spain it's not like that, but yeah, I think all in all, like I said, like I think yesterday I told you, like you create your own community, and like majority of like my friends or my community are like there are a lot of British people in Spain, a lot of them, because I always say like British people have like a very like toxic relationship with Spain. They're so in love with Spain. Like they'll come to Spain for like maybe a holiday and they end up moving there. Like they'll literally end up moving their whole lives there. So yeah, majority of like my friends are like from the African community and then also like the British people. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear
wow.
you.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very sad. Very, very sad. Brazilians will just randomly, you can just be in a queue, you can be on a queue, you're just doing something, minding your business on your phone, and they'll just randomly tap you just so that they can gist with you. And then what they want to tell you about whatever it is happening with them doesn't even concern you or what the queue is about. They just want to tell you that, oh, their granddaughter is going to be 7 tomorrow, or do you get, like, very
Yeah.
funny thing that doesn't even concern. They are so into
Yeah.
people. I don't know how to explain it. Oh yeah,
I
I can
don't.
see you better now.
So yeah,
They are
thank
so
you.
into
Cool.
people, and they're so into, they don't care what skin color you have,
Yeah.
dark, light skin. I mean, I feel like if you're experiencing racism in Brazil, that must be because probably you just have inferiority complex on your own or something, or you just pick little offenses about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think nobody has ever tried to get racist. I mean, if you try it as a Nigerian, I'm going to give you back, and I'm going
Exactly.
to give it to you back, and then we settle ourselves. So that Spanish thing, carrying face, not able to join their friendship and all those things, I don't think they would have been able to do well with Nigerians. But anyways, I understand, and it's sad that racism is still going on even up till now.
Yeah.
But then I don't advise anybody that is experiencing such things to still remain in such countries. So I'm advising you people to come to Brazil. People should come to Brazil. You even look like a Brazilian to an extent. You look
You
like a
know, like it's
Brazilian to an
really
extent.
funny you say that because I think a lot of people, what's it called this, actually think like I'm some type of Spanish Portuguese person.
Mm-hmm.
I never really understand why. But yeah, like okay, you know now with Brazil, like number one, I agree with you. If you can't mentally like handle that type of stress of like the racism, right?
Yeah.
Don't. And you know, honestly, right? Even for me, I think it's like a very hard concept because let's be honest, people are racist here. And it's going to come to a time
Mm-hmm.
where like whether it's you renting a house, buying a house, needing like what's it called this help, like whether when it comes to the law or things like that, and you
Mm-hmm.
will experience it, period. You will experience racism. um so I think you need to now decide, is that somewhere you want to raise your children, where you want to work? Oh my,
Exactly.
even when it comes to the work, like I remember my friend, right? She was working at some other company, and that time it was like the whole thing that happened with George Floyd and everything. And then on their group chat,
Mm-hmm.
you know how you have like a work group chat, right? Her manager literally was like asked the group, would you rather be disabled or black? Literally blatant.
What?
That's how blatant racism here is, because to them it's like being black is actually like, oh my gosh, it's a struggle and whatever they think, right? Blatant. And she's a black person, so why would you say that on the group? Why would you say something like that on the group? So it's very blatant here. It's really, really blatant. And even I think yesterday I told you about like how in Germany it's also like very a big thing. Like we've had a lot of incidences of black people being pushed onto the metro rail as trains are passing by, as the metro is passing by. They're very blatant with it.
What?
Blatant. Yes, they're very blatant with it. So I think yeah, like when you think about where you want to live, that's something I think you have to really confront yourself. And to me, I just to be honest, I only thought about it like maybe 6 months ago, 3 months ago, about like okay, like if you really want to stay here and work here, right? Is that something you're willing to take on? Is that something, if you do have kids here, that you want your kids to experience?
Do you want them to experience all this?
Exactly, probably not. Yeah, and also in terms of the pay, the economy is not smiling. It's not smiling. Yeah, it's not smiling. Honestly, like you can have a master's, you can have a graduate. It's really sad because I have friends that are working, right? Like you can have a master's or graduate and you're getting paid like 1,500 euros or 2,000 euros or even 1,100 euros, right? Pay is not good here, period. It's not good. Like I don't
Wow.
like, if you want to stay in Europe, right? I say stay in Europe, but if you want to have like a very flourishing career, Spain is not the place. Spain is a place where you come and whatever you, if you're okay with getting 1,500 or just getting like the bare minimum for your degree, or yeah, with the bachelor's and masters, and you're okay with that bare minimum, you're okay with just paying your rent and saving what 100 to 300 euros a month, is a place for you. But if you have those big dreams, big aspirations of making 10,000 euros a month, 8,000 euros a month, saving more, in thousands, it's not the place. Oh, I'm talking about Spain. Sorry, I'm talking about Spain. It's not
Oh,
the
what
place.
country is she talking about?
Yeah,
Spain.
it's not the
Spain.
place for you. So that's one. What's another big thing? The racism and the pay is just, it's really not there. And yeah, you're not going to be as friendly with other Africans that have already been there as well. So yeah. Yeah.
Is there like an African community there?
Yes, there is. Like, actually, like, okay, so when I first came, right, that was like literally like that was my community. Those were where my friends came from. And then because of COVID, majority of them like went back. And then when they came back, it was kind of like, I don't know, I think we had all just maybe like evolved, like maybe like I'd say mentally, or even in terms of like how we wanted to live in Spain, right? And then we just kind of made different friends. But yeah, there's a big African community like in Spain. And actually one of the good things is okay, you said like in Brazil everyone is just in Rio and Sao Paulo. Here and like everyone in Spain is everywhere. You can find black people, community of black people like everywhere. Cities I've never even heard of. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's an island. Like, and they're actually like a really big Nigerian community there. There's a Ghanaian community there. There's a Communion community there. There's a Senegalese community there. It's crazy actually. Like, there are actually a lot of yeah. There's a big African community. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not saying like it's completely bad, but yeah, if you just have big dreams, you know that those big dreams that Africans have when they come to Europe, please, like you have to really manage expectations in Spain. But I would think other places like maybe Poland, Germany, Switzerland are like better. Even the UK, even the UK maybe better with those expectations. Yeah.
That's nice. Are you currently schooling there?
Yeah, um, school and work, school work break. Honestly, it's very like now when it comes to the school, oh, the schooling is not as good as I would say. Like you can learn in English, but they have some courses. For example, the public schools, right? Some of them they'll have some courses in English, which would be cheaper, which is actually good. And then they'll have majority of other courses will be in Spanish. So yeah, you have to actually learn Spanish to go to those courses. And then they have like a big thing in Spain is like private universities, and like they'll teach in English. Majority of them teach in English. They're good. Like you get the course you want, yeah, in English, but it's actually really expensive. It's expensive, and that's also another thing that like is like if you're going to come to Spain, if you're going to come to Spain slash Europe, right, to learn, a make sure you have a job, like a really good job that's going to cover your rent, going to cover your fees, or just come from a rich family. Make sure like you're fully funded. If it's not a rich family, whoever your sponsor is, make sure they're fully funded. Or it'll be hard to pay school fees. You're not going to live in a good area. Things are not too expensive, but yeah, you're going to need a budget for it. So that's also another thing. Like I wouldn't advise people to pick Spain first. I wouldn't advise people
Hello?
to pick.
Yeah.
Hold on, please. 2 minutes.
Okay.
The internet is malfunctioning, so we had someone come to check it, and
Okay.
I won't be able to attend him, so I need to call my brother.
Okay.
I'm going to be shouting, so let me mute this.
No problem. I don't know who's on the line.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. I wanted to ask again, will you be going to Malawi anytime soon? Maybe to do you have your parents in Malawi or
Yes.
they're in Spain too?
My parents
in Malawi. Would you
my parents in Malawi.
Okay, would you be going back to them soon when you're done studying? Like, will you leave Spain when you're done studying to Malawi, or you'd be going to another country? Also, Spain, when you go to study there, are you expected to leave after studies, or you can stay back or something?
Yeah,
How does it work? Because I know in the UK you have to go back to your home country or something.
Yeah, okay, I'm not sure about the UK, but I think like they give you a few months if you do get a job, like for work experience, right? So here, yeah. So I think in Europe, yeah, like in the European Union, basically, I think they give you 18 months. I'm not sure but I think it's a good yeah, to get a job or work experience, because you might not get a job, you might get an internship, right? So they'll give you like maybe what 6 to 15 months, 6 to 18 months, depending on the country. Yeah, to get a job or to get work experience. So if you get a job, yeah, you can apply for a work permit and then you work here and then maybe you do your masters, and that's how you build up to get like your residency, citizenship, or your passport. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And yeah, like I'm so happy. I actually forgot, yeah. Like another thing is like I think you're lucky because in one of your videos you said like you move, like you're pretty much home because like that's where your family is, right? Yeah, that's a really like that's a big advantage, honestly. Like living out there alone is really
It's
like
crazy.
Yes, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. It'll build you though. I don't like it's build me because it's not easy. It's not easy, especially like being like what 18 to 22, 18 to 23. It's not easy. Like it's really not easy. You're handling a lot of things by yourself. Yes, you're gonna have friends, but it's not the same as having family. Like if anything, you can call your sister, you can call your mom, you can call your brothers, right? But like here, it's kind of like you really have to just like believe in the connections that you make or your friends, like the friends that you're with all the time. So yeah, yeah. Oh, I just got
I really
admission in
admire your
Spain.
courage.
Thank you.
Somebody
But
just
that's
said, you
which
said,
city? Or someone said I just got admission in Spain.
I just got
Which
admission in
city?
Spain. What
Yeah,
city? And I was saying that I admire your courage. I don't think I would have been able to survive it alone
yeah,
in another country, especially a country that has racism like that, and that you have to learn a new language where they're not even very welcoming.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
It's
courage.
crazy.
It's really it's courage. Honestly, like when I think about it, it's courage because I feel like I probably decided to go and to move, right? Because I was still young, like I was still
Mm-hmm.
naive. I was excited about, oh my gosh, all the possibilities of Spain, of Europe, and I had like a few friends, a few friends there. So I think
I think
like then,
it's a common thing in, sorry to cut you, it's a common thing
yeah.
in Malawi to go to Spain, right?
No, in fact, I don't know if you know another Malawi. In Malawi, we're so small. Like when you meet other
Why won't
Malawians,
I
you like
know Malawi?
because actually I'm so happy. Let me not think that as happening actually. Majority of the time I meet people, they're like Mali, Malaysia, like they don't know
Oh
Malawi. That country
no,
exactly. So I'm really like, and most
very
of the time, like,
small.
yeah, exactly. It's very small. Like when
And
I
I think
meet,
it's close to Kenya or something.
no, it's all yeah, it's kind of close to Kenya. So it's like Malawi, Tanzania, Kenya. Yeah, pretty much. Like so,
Oh,
Malawi is like south, and then Tanzania, then yeah, Kenya.
and then
So
I know that it's very cold, right? It's always cold.
no, it's actually not like it's not always it's definitely not as hot as Nigeria, but it's not hot, it's not cold. Like the weather is just
Oh,
African,
okay,
if that makes sense. Like the weather is just
okay.
or is it Valencia? Oh, okay, that's a good city. It's not like as big or as like nice as Barcelona, but it's also not far from Barcelona. So yeah, that's a good place. I think if you're in a place like Valencia, that means you have been learning Spanish or you're going to learn Spanish because that place, at least Barcelona, right? They it's you can find English. You can find
Mhm.
English. Um, yeah, I'm coming. You can find English. Yeah.
Are you also in Valencia?
No, I'm not in Valencia. No.
Okay,
Valencia is not.
in
It's
Barcelona.
yeah, yeah. So it's not far. It's not
Wow.
far, but yeah, it's not Barcelona. There's a lot of English speakers. There's a lot of it's an English based hub type of thing. Valencia, yeah, you're
Oh,
really going to have to up your Spanish. Yeah.
wow. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you. Do
you.
you have other contributions you want to give us? Any advice?
I
Anything?
actually, I mean, I hope what I have said has been helpful instead of scaring people. But I just,
Mm.
when it comes to like, obviously going to Europe or leaving Africa, I really want people to be honest and what you call this realistic with expectations. And that's also another problem I have with people in the sport. Like they're always trying to create this thing about like, oh, we have money, we are balling here, life is easy. And I feel like people,
Mm-hmm.
please don't fall for that because you're gonna be like, oh, let me jump and let me move so my life can be better. But like maybe it won't be as good as you think or as you expect. So manage expectations when it comes to the whole idea of moving or relocating. Yeah, I don't know if I have any other questions about Brazil. I feel like, as I said, like you've answered them. It's just the language, like that's the big thing that I'm really like, yeah, I think about type of thing. Yeah.
That's nice.